Hey everybody, it's Brad from BuzFly. Today I'm going to show you a quick, simple Howitzer Bucktail Deceiver. Hey guys, the materials used for this fly are Flyman Fishing Group's large Howitzer head, a Kona, 3/0, extra strong stinger hook, white bucktail, white saddle feathers, Flashabou, lateral scale, number 1733 in opal, Danville 210 flat wax nylon, pink Zap A Gap, better known as Liquid Death. After attaching your thread, put a drop of the pink Zap A Gap on your thread wraps and leave your thread at the back of the hook. Here we're going to attach 4, 5, or 6 saddle hackles. It just depends on the feathers. You just want to get enough to give you some length and a little bit of bulk. If your feathers are really not that stiff, if the stems are pretty weak, you can also put a little bit of bucktail down first before doing the feathers. You attach your feathers, just make sure you get the feathers to go all the way around the hook shank. We just don't want them on the sides. Now attach the flash on the top and both sides of the hook. If you'll notice, I'll fold the flash around my thread to help secure it. I'll try to make it so that the end of the flash is even with or a little bit longer than the feathers. Now we'll start to build up the body. It's just going to be a series of ties of bucktail. Depending on the type of bucktail you have, will depend on the type of tie you're going to use. In this case, the first tie is just a standard straight tie, putting the bucktail around the hook shank. After every step, we always try to put a little bit of Zap A Gap in. The second clump is going to be reverse tied, not hollow tied, but reversed. So I basically tie it in facing forward, push it back over itself, and secure it with thread. And when I secure it with the thread is on top of the bucktail, not just in front of it like a hollow. Now we're back at adding flash. We did it the same way as before. 2 or 3 strands on each side, and maybe 3, 4, or 5 strands on the top. All of them are folded over. As you can see, I'm fighting my flash because I have a fan blowing all the materials from my left to my right. Now, if you wanted to do a two-tone, you could put different colors of bucktail on the top and bottom. The same goes for your feathers. So here's my last clump. I made it up pretty close to the hook eye. Just going to do a typical reverse here. Spread it all the way around, 360. Just make sure you get it nice and tight. Push it back over itself and lash it down. Just make sure you leave yourself enough room so that when the head slides in, the hook eye comes out the front. Now, if you wanted to add peacock curl, this would be the time. You put it on just normal tie right on top to extend it backwards. Our last tying step is to attach a really wide and webby feather in front of our last bucktail tie. This will help form the collar. Since this fly is basically all white, we're just going to use a white feather. But a lot of times we'll use a contrasting color such as red, orange, or pink. Another option would be to use one of the brushes that are available to form the collar. So our last step is to just finish up the head. Just make sure you have a nice solid base for your popper head to be glued to. Now we're just test fitting the head. Later on we'll come back and glue this on with the thick Zap A Gap, not the pink. Well, that's it. A simple Howitzer Bucktail Deceiver.